And I Know is the oldest song on the album. And what I mean by that is the song was written originally back way before I wrote most of the songs for the Light in the Dark album. In fact, I think And I Know was written just after I released an album called Cartoon World, which is no longer available. But it looks something like that. I released this 2014, something like that. And yeah, And I Know was written just after I released that. The song was originally going to be on the A Light in the Dark album, but then as things happened in my life, that album changed completely, and I Know got shelved. Then I started doing the Future Memories album, and I thought, oh, let's revisit And I Know. But again, the song didn't really fit on that album, so it got shelved. Didn't even think about it for Chasing Sunsets, but then when I was working on the In Space album, I realised this song would sit perfectly on there because there's not really been much of an acoustic song. So I pulled it out of the archives and I had to listen to the demo, which is, it's not completely different to how the song turned out, but it's definitely different. Let's cut to a clip of that here.
And I know that I went and lost it all. And I know that I never went to go. And I know I was stuck inside my head. And I know that I went and fucked it all.
I felt the original version was just a bit heavy on so many different riffs and sounds, all trying to fight to be at the front. So when it came to redoing it, I tried to strip everything back and just split the riffs out a little bit, bring some of them in later, push some of them down so they're sort of mixed in, but you can sort of hear them but they're mixed in. Do some of the riffs on different instruments as opposed to just sort of very heavy like guitar for all of them. And I also found there was a really nice bit of piano just sort of hidden in the background of, I think it was verse 2. So I lifted that and made that a bit louder and sort of tried to make it more of a chilled acoustic song till it gets to the end. At the end of the original song as well, there was a bit of very loud singing, we'll call it, almost sort of screaming, shouting. Cut to a clip of that here in the demo.
And I know that I went and lost it all. And I know that I never went to love. And I know.
And I was tempted to put that back into the song, but once I had the song sort of recorded, I tried it a couple of times and I felt it just didn't really belong. So I left it out. Sometimes I'll sing it if I'm listening to it in the car or something like that, and I'll shout that bit over the top, but I think it's much nicer without that bit in, for sure. When I was reworking the song to make it a bit nicer for the album, I took influence from Jonathan Larson, who is famous for writing Tick Tick Boom and also the musical Rent. There's a couple of songs in Tick Tick Boom which really helped shape how And I Know became. Because as I was reworking it, I was a bit unsure of certain parts, and then I happened to watch Tick Tick Boom and I had my And I Know song and I thought, oh, this is it, this is the kind of sound that this needs to be. So I have Jonathan Larson to thank for really helping me home in on what And I Know was supposed to sound like. The song originally was written about losing friends, but it's your own fault. Because it's a bit like you're not going to see them, and you're not going to hang out with them, you're not going to talk to them, and you're aware it's your fault, but you're not doing anything about it. And that can also be applied to maybe a relationship, that you realise you're not carrying your weight, but you're not doing anything about it, but you need to do something about it. And that's kind of what the song is about. Whenever I pick up my acoustic, the opening riff of And I Know is usually the first thing I'll play just as a finger pick. And also there's a little acoustic riff in verse 2, I sometimes just play around with that as well. And I've done that for years and years and years. Every time I've picked up my guitar, even the electric sometimes, I've gone in and just played that song. Which is why I'm also so happy this song is now out in the world, because I've been playing it for so long and now other people can hear it instead of just me. But I always say if I have a riff and I keep playing it over and over again, it needs to be out in the world because it's catchy to me, is stuck in my head, so hopefully it will again be catchy for other people and get stuck in their heads. So it's no longer just in mine. And I Know is out now as part of the In Space album, which is available to buy, stream and download on all major platforms, so please go check it out.